I know this might be difficult for you to hear right now, but you truly need to listen closely to these words. For your own growth, you have always been proud of being a kind person, always saying yes to others, and constantly yielding to their demands, without any hesitation at all. But, let's be honest with yourself. In this quiet moment, when there is only you, and the darkness surrounding your thoughts and your very soul, are you really doing all these things out of pure kindness? Or is it because you simply lack the courage to say no to people? There is a very thin line between having a generous heart and having a soul that is deeply paralyzed by the fear of social rejection. Today, we are going to carefully peel back those layers and look at the truth, hiding behind the mask of kindness you wear every day. Many people mistake their inability to stand up for themselves as a virtue, calling it patience when it is actually just a lack of power. We often hide our weaknesses behind the label of being a nice person because it is easier than facing the conflict we so deeply dread. This realization is the first step toward reclaiming your true self and building a life based on genuine strength rather than hollow, forced compliance. Let us explore why you feel the need to please everyone, and how this habit is slowly draining the very essence of your beautiful life. You fear conflict more than anything else. You have convinced yourself that staying silent is a form of moral excellence and high emotional intelligence. In reality, it is a wall you have built to protect yourself from the pain of being disliked or judged by those around you daily. When someone hurts you, and you choose to smile and let it go without saying a single word, that is not an act of forgiveness. It is an act of avoidance. You are building an invisible wall between your true feelings and the world, isolating your heart from any real connection. You are leaving a lingering pain inside yourself, a quiet exhaustion that comes from always having to shrink, so you don't bother anyone else. You are being incredibly kind to everyone else, while being absolutely cruel to your own needs, your own desires, and your own mental well-being. This self-betrayal manifests as a heavy weight in your chest, a feeling that you are living a life that belongs to someone else entirely. Every time you suppress your voice, a small part of your spirit withers away, replaced by a growing resentment that you refuse to acknowledge. You think that by being agreeable, you are becoming more lovable, but you are actually becoming more invisible to those who should truly know you. True kindness requires honesty, and honesty often requires the strength to be disagreeable when things are not right or fair to your soul. If your kindness is born out of fear, it is not a gift, it is a bribe to keep people from leaving or hurting you. It is time to ask yourself, who would you be if you weren't so afraid of what everyone else thinks about your every single move? You are always the first person to show up when others are in need. Yet you are often the very last person they ask. How are you doing today? Are you okay? These are questions you rarely hear, because everyone assumes you are the one who is always fine. You feel lonely even when you are busy helping others, because you know deep down that your value is tied only to your service. You are terrified that if you ever stop giving, if you ever stop being useful, the people in your life will simply walk away. This type of kindness is a psychological trap, a heavy burden you carry in hopes of buying a sense of belonging and social security. You have mistaken dependency for compassion, and, in the process, you have become a prisoner of your own desperate need to be needed by others. The constant noise of other people's problems has drowned out the small, quiet voice of your own heart, which is crying out for rest. You spend your days solving crises for people who wouldn't even think to help you move a single chair if you were in trouble. The more you pour into others without replenishing your own soul, the more resentful and hollow you will inevitably become over the passing years. Is this truly the life you want? To be a tool for others to use until you are completely worn out and finally discarded? It takes immense courage to realize that you are worth more than what you can do for other people. You are a human being. Your availability should be a gift, not a requirement. It should be given to those who respect it and give back in equal measure. Stop being the person who is always available for everyone, but never available for themselves. It is time to reclaim your own time and energy. A truly kind person is someone who has the capacity to cause harm, who is strong and capable, but chooses to be gentle instead. If you do not have the ability to say no, then your yes is absolutely meaningless. It is just the only option you have left. A rabbit cannot be called kind just because it doesn't eat the wolf. The rabbit simply doesn't have the teeth to do any real damage. True virtue only exists when you are a beast who has learned how to keep your strength under perfect control and disciplined will. Kindness is a choice made from a position of strength, while agreeableness is often just a survival tactic. Used by those who feel weak, you must develop your teeth. You must become capable of standing your ground and protecting your own interests with a sharp and clear mind. Only then will your gentleness have any real weight. Only then will people know that your kindness is a conscious and noble decision. A person without boundaries is not kind. They are a victim waiting to happen. They invite exploitation and then wonder why they feel so bitter. Be like the lion who does not need to roar to show his power. His presence alone is enough to establish respect and clear boundaries. When you have the power to say no, your yes becomes a precious gift that others will value and cherish much more deeply than before. Strength is the foundation upon which true kindness is built. Without it, your kindness is just a house of cards in the wind. It is time to stop being a doormat and start being the architect of your own boundaries and the guardian of your own peace. The root of this, weakness masquerading as kindness, often stretches back into the distant and dusty corridors of your early childhood memories. Perhaps you were the child who was only loved when you were perfectly good, when you didn't cry, and when you caused no trouble. You learned very early that your needs were a burden to others, and that the only way to be safe was to be invisible. You carried that fear of rejection into your adult life, becoming a people pleaser, because you didn't know any other way to survive socially. I understand how much that hurts. It is a deep, ancient pain that tells you that you are not enough unless you are serving, but that child within you is still waiting for someone to tell them that they are allowed to be angry, tired, and completely selfish. It is time to stop forcing that scared child to serve the entire world, just to feel a small, fleeting crumb of temporary safety. Healing begins when you realize that your worth was never tied to your obedience or your ability to make everyone else's lives easier. You have the right to exist for yourself. You have the right to say no without feeling a crushing weight of guilt and shame. The process of untangling your identity from your usefulness is painful, but it is the only way to ever become truly free and whole. You are no longer that helpless child. You have the power now to choose who gets your energy and who does not deserve your time. Forgive yourself for the times you didn't stand up for yourself. You were just trying to survive in a world that felt very unsafe. Take a deep breath and let go of the need to be the hero for everyone else. It is time to be your own hero. The first step to becoming truly kind is to finally start being kind to yourself, which means honoring your own limits and needs. Learn to set boundaries like they are sacred laws. They are not meant to keep people out, but to keep your soul safe. Do not fear that people will leave when you say no. Those who leave were only there for what they could get from you. The people who stay after you set a boundary, are the only ones who actually respect you and value your true, honest self. Keep your sword in its sheath, but make sure you know exactly how to use it if your peace is ever truly threatened. That is the true definition of power. Having the strength to protect yourself and the wisdom to choose gentleness whenever it is possible. The night is finally over, and a new day is beginning for you. You don't have to play the role of the martyr anymore. You are free to be kind because you want to, not because you have to. There is a world of difference between those two. I hope that after our conversation tonight, you will stop living in fear and start living in the light of your own truth. Thank you for being here with me, for being brave enough to look at the truth, and for choosing to grow into your strength. If these words brought you peace today, leave a piece of your story in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel and continue to walk this journey of healing with us. Remember, your value is inherent and unconditional. You are worthy of love simply because you exist, not because you serve others. Go forward with courage, set your boundaries, and live a life that is truly yours. You have everything you need within you already. We will see you in the next chapter.